Just like that. It's Monday, and somehow, God only knows how, we're into November. How did that happen? 5 minutes ago, it was January. Hi, everybody. I'm Russ Kane. Welcome to the Midday Show. Packed show for you today. Packed. How come we're in November? I don't know. God. Fireworks. Are they driving you mad? Driving me around the bend. That's another story. Anyway, let's get on with our first guest. She is, hang on, someone else has turned up. No, he'll have to wait. He'll have to wait. I'm going to introduce our first guest because she was here first. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Esther Stanhope.
Hello,
And now we're
Russ.
going to
How
welcome
are you?
Neil Long. The late Neil Long has arrived. There he is.
Hello, Neil.
Excuse me, it's bang on midday.
No,
I'm
not
not late.
I don't want excuses, boy.
He's literally on time, and the second it turns midday, he's on time.
Damn
Thank you,
right.
Esther.
Damn right.
So, Neil, he wouldn't let me play my ukulele.
Oh, jeez. All right,
What?
go on.
I'm just going to give you a
Go
couple.
on.
That's it. I'm just giving you a
Play
taster.
some more.
If you want me to play the theme tune to my book, I'll play it later. That's just a little taster.
Can you do Stairway
Please
to
stay
Heaven?
tuned. It will get better.
Stay tuned. It's slightly out of tune.
Slightly out of.
I want to hear Stairway, man.
I
You are
can't
the-
do Stairway. No, I'm not allowed. Like, is it Bill and Ted's Amazing Adventure that it said no Stairway to Heaven? Is
No
it Bill
Stairway
and
to
Ted,
Heaven
that
in the
film?
guitar
No,
song.
that's
No
Wayne's
Stairway
World.
to Heaven.
It was Wayne's World.
There's a Wayne's World. That's it.
Wayne's
There's no
World.
way.
I always remember Wayne's World because we went to the press show. Were you there, Longy? We went to the press showing, and I'm
No.
sitting next to Pat Sharp because they invited Capital. So we all went along. I've never seen anybody laugh so much in the cinema as Pat Man did. He was crying he was sitting next to me, and the whole row was shaking. He was crying with laughter. It was
There
hilarious.
was a
Oh,
bit
I love
in Wayne's
that
World
song.
2 which made me laugh like that, and that was the YMCA scene. When it dropped, that the whole thing was a setup for a parody of the Village People, and I just could not stop laughing.
Well, look, you'll like my theme tune to my book. It's actually based on an 80s song that you'll probably recognise, and I might do a name that tune.
Is
But
it cool?
only when you're ready, because if you know,
Esther, does it go? Please buy my book. I'm George Formby. Turned out nice again.
actually, no, it doesn't do that. No, it's much
Oh.
cleverer than that, Russ. Much cleverer than that.
Who knew? Who knew? Esther,
Yes.
for those of you who haven't been knocked sideways by your tsunami-like personality and talent, tell us all about yourself.
Thank you very much for saying that. I don't know. That's either a compliment or an insult.
You
A
take it any way you
tsunami-like
want to,
personality.
sweetheart. Any way you want. You knock yourself out and
I'll
just
take
work
it
with it.
as a
I
compliment.
thought that was quite nice, actually, for Russ. I'd take that as a compliment if I were you,
Thank
Esther.
you, Neil.
No one was asking you.
Anyway, look, I'm an author and I'm a coach. I help people with their presence and impact, darling. Presence and impact.
Yeah.
I'm a former producer at the BBC and TV and radio. But the thing is, I wasn't on air. So people don't know me. You might not recognize me because I was very, very, very much a behind the scenes person. I was good with talent, darling. So Russ, I am the talent person. If people would come to me as they want me to produce them because they used to call me, the talent maker, the star maker, because I'm
modest. And the modest person. They said,
well,
get that
I am.
very
I'm not
modest
anymore. I used to be.
Esther Stanhope.
I
She's
used
so
to
modest.
be-
Get her. That's what
I
they
used
said.
to be behind the scenes, and I would call myself invisibly brilliant. I was invisible, but brilliant at helping other people to be visible.
Have you always been this shy?
I was very shy. I used to feel sick at public speaking. I couldn't go on camera. I used to hate my own voice. I still don't love my own voice, to be honest.
No, your voice is great. You've got a very nice voice. There's a lovely timbre to it, as it's how it
Oh, well,
happens. Now,
thank you
Mrs.
very
Talent
much.
Woman, I'm going to get in quickly before Neil launches with 1,000 questions.
Yes.
All right. As you are in charge of talent, this is an important question. Nothing to do with your book or why you're here.
Yeah,
but
I am going to be talking about that. You're not going to get away with it.
No, that's why you're here to plug the arse
wanna
out of
hear
your
all
book.
about it.
We
Plugging my
get
book.
that.
Oh, I'm plugging my book.
Of course
Go
you are.
on.
No, right. Claudia and Tess are leaving.
I know.
So, Mrs. I Know Talent When I See It woman, who are we replacing it with? Who?
I'm not 100%
Give me some names.
sure. I'm not 100% sure. I know that the ball, Zoe Ball has been batted around.
God.
My problem with I love Zoe Ball. She's my
Why?
era. She's probably my age. However, the trouble with Zoe Ball is it's almost like you get Tess Daly and Claudia
Yeah.
Winkleman and put them in a blender and then
And then you come out
pops
with
Zoe
like
Ball.
nothing. You get a diluted Claudia, which we
To
don't
be
want.
honest, I used to work at the BBC for many years. I loved it there. I had a really good time. However, my criticism of the BBC is that they need to kind of, come on, guys, let's be creative. Let's do something new.
Yeah.
We
And
need
let's
new
stop being
talent, new
anti-Semitic
blood.
as well. That's the other criticism of the BBC. You can go screw themselves. Anyhow, just my personal view.
Yeah, so I mean, what they need is they do need somebody very look, they never really replaced Brucey, darling. Bruce
Well, don't
Forsyth.
you think? Don't
Well,
you
whoever
think
could.
that what's his name? The judge at the end. My mind's gone blank.
Anton Dubek, darling.
Anton Dubek
Darling.
is
Oh, you're
morphing
talking
into
about-
Forsyth.
Oh, are you talking about Craig Revel?
No, I
Horwood?
love Craig. Anton Dubek is
Darling,
morphing into
fabulous.
Bruce Forsyth. What the hell's that all about? His
So the
chin
trouble,
grows
look,
every
Anton
week.
Dubek is he could be look, if it's Anton Dubek, then he would need a really big, very loud, different, a female sidekick.
Yeah.
It's about who would go really well together. I mean, I never really bought into the whole Tess Daly and Claudia Winkleman duo,
not at
because they
all.
don't really kind of go
There's nothing.
together.
There's no
really.
there's no synergy.
No,
it's all professionally done, but there's no synergy there.
Yeah, and what's happened with Strictly Come Dancing is that Bruce Forsyth left. They never really replaced him. I mean, look, I love Claudia Winkleman and her jokes and her fun. She's really
I love her.
and funny.
I love her.
The only thing is with Tess, I love Tess Daly. I mean, I've taken my hat off to her because she is
boring. It's the word you're looking for. Dull,
no, blonde. Look, she's good. Look, to
she
be able
looks
to do that job live,
she's like Neil. She looks sensational. Look at that face.
And also,
look at that handsome face.
She is literally disappearing before our very eyes. I mean, it is a problem, but we can talk about, look, I mean, she does look very slim, doesn't she? I mean, to the point where it's like, she's almost like this vision of this blonde, very
she's
slim.
a very attractive. I got a question for
beautiful.
you.
She's beautiful.
No,
however,
Neil, Sonny, I must shut up. Sorry, Neil.
Who do you think they could replace?
Your little face looks upset.
Tell us all about your book, Esther.
Okay. It's called, I will tell
That's
you.
why I love Neil.
Do you want the theme tune now?
Yeah, go on. Knock yourself
I do.
out. I want the theme tune.
It's called Visibly Brilliant.
Okay.
And it's dedicated to all the people who are brilliant at their job. They're technically brilliant. They work really hard. They work long hours. They're loyal, but they're invisible. So this book is all about getting yourself out there. And Russ, you could give me some tips and give the audience tips. If you're working really, really hard and you're loyal, you're not getting a pay rise, you keep getting overlooked for promotion because you're invisible. That used to be me, invisibly brilliant. And I used to call those people the superheroes.
Well, here's my tip. It's easy. Kidnap their family, and just kidnap their family.
Okay.
Say, I mean, you'll be getting them back in kit form, parcel by parcel, until I'm promoted. Works every time.
I'm not sure of the legality of that.
Yes, well, I am sure of the legality of that. It's not legal.
Oh, guys, if you're going to let little tiny things get in the way of your career progress.
Are you ready for this? Neil, are you ready for this?
Yes.
Okay, name that tune. Ready? Name that tune. Invisible. I feel like I'm invisible.
Alison Moyet, stop the clock.
You treat me like I'm not even there, and you don't even care. And that promotion, it ain't going nowhere. Invisible.
A nightingale sang in
And I
Berkeley Square.
changed the lyrics. I changed it from romance to promotion. Did you notice?
What is this?
Am I right? I'm right.
Absolutely right. It's Alison Moyet's "Invisible" from the 1980s. I love that song, but it was a perfect song to go with the book.
Do it again.
I learned the ukulele
do it again. It was really good.
Go on. Literally, I just learned it a few months ago, so I could do a little mini theme tune.
No rush. No rush. In your own time.
Did you like that then, Russ?
I loved it. Yeah.
After your fuss,
we've never had anybody come on play the ukulele before.
Yay! What's wrong with that? Why not?
Get Ian Clarkson on from the Jive Aces. All right, come on, do it. Please do it again. It was adorable.
Okay, only if you join in. Neil, are you going to join in?
Well, Neil will. Yeah. I don't know the words.
Both of you join in. Yeah, Neil, you can join in. Ready?
Okay.
Ready? Invisible.
Invisible.
I feel like I'm invisible.
Invisible.
Maybe like I'm not really there.
Like I'm not even there. Like you don't even care. And that promotion, it ain't going nowhere.
Where?
Invisible.
Invisible.
Good, isn't it?
You
That's
treat me like
probably
I'm
all I can say.
invisible.
That's all I learned.
That's enough. Leave them,
You see, you got
Esther,
cynical about the
leave them,
ukulele.
Esther, leave them wanting more. That's
Yes,
the thing. More is less.
more
Jesus.
is less.
Right. Anyway, so the book. Back to this fabulous book. Show us the cover
Yes,
again. Go on,
darling. Yeah.
plug it out. Okay. No,
Mhm.
that's not helpful. That's making me feel a
Oh
bit
yeah,
sick.
sorry. There.
Yeah.
It's got a bit
Down
of
a bit, down
reflection.
a bit, dear. Down a bit. No, stop. Stop. Lovely.
Ta-da.
You're my favourite. Visibly brilliant. Who's the book by?
The book is by, I know, isn't that funny? It's meant to be, it's invisible, and then and I'm invisible on the front. Actually, on the
Spine?
Amazon version,
Oh, the Amazon version.
if you get it on Amazon, my name is on it. But my special flaps version, if you don't mind me saying, the
Jesus
special
Christ,
flap,
Esther, easy. It's early in the day for
but
that.
the special
talk.
edition doesn't have my name on it, and I've only just noticed it. But anyway,
Jeez.
it's by me, Esther Stanhope, the Impact Guru. And it's really a guide how to get yourself out. It's got a lot of great graphics by my very, very good collaborator guy, my graphics guy, Patrick from LMPP Design. He does all my graphics. He's done some really cool images. It's really about how do you create some relatively good, easy content, and how can you share yourself rather than show off to get yourself out there, posting, just be able to stand and speak in public or do better meetings if you're in an office environment. It's really, people think, I don't want to be a show off.
Because most people are terrified of public speaking, aren't they?
Yes,
fear, apparently, even about
I used
death.
to be, yeah.
Yeah, and I used to edit a podcast for a lovely lady, and I'm trying to remember her name now. It'll come to me in a minute. Sylvia Baldock, that was it.
Oh, yes.
Do you know Sylvia?
I know her. Yeah, she wears yellow.
Yeah. Quite a lot.
She's the one that wears yellow all the time. She's a yellow lady. I love her.
Yes, I know Sylvia. She wears yellow.
I know Sylvia.
She's lovely.
A public speaking person.
And her podcast, her whole thing is all about becoming more significant, because she has a theory, and I tend to agree, that sometimes people suddenly become famous posthumously.
When they're dead.
Exactly.
Well,
and she's saying, well, why wait?
Until you're dead.
Why wait?
Yeah. Why wait for the accolades? Put yourself out there. But she says that we're all a bit sort of shy. We're all a bit British about it, aren't we?
Yes.
If we're American, it won't be a problem, But us British people are all a bit reserved. We shouldn't speak too much about ourselves. It's not proper. It's not protocol, and all that sort of thing. So how do you get out there?
This is really interesting. So for many, many years, I'm old. I'm in my 50s, and it wasn't really till I was in my 40s.
Get out of here!
Shut up! You can't be.
Shut up!
I must have the beauty app
just
on.
teasing with us.
Ross, you should get that for you.
You're playing with us. I should do what? Apart from shoot myself at the moment, where I'm feeling. What I should do? What? Get gauze on the lens. Vaseline on the lens. Yeah.
What was I going to say? Look. You're absolutely right. It's partly culture. Partly, I used to think that I wasn't good enough, or I wasn't interesting enough. I wasn't articulate enough. I wasn't clever enough. I wasn't slim enough. I wasn't good looking enough. My hair wasn't good enough. I wasn't fun enough. My voice wasn't good enough. I used to just think I'm not really one of those types of people.
Can I ask you a question? This is an important question, because it's something that Neil and I have talked about for years on the show, right?
Yeah.
Were you... And wait till the end of the question before you leap in, because I know what you're like, right? Were you, tick a lock, were you saying that to yourself, or were other people saying that to you? So in other words, were you self-sabotaging and beating yourself up, or was it an external force? Because it's something that Neil and I talk about a lot.
So the voice is in my head, and I do have a VOD, I call it, a voice of doubt on my shoulder. And actually, I call him Cynical Cyril. Cynical Cyril is the one, the voice in my head, myself, telling me all these things. But this is where it's come from. So, for example, for me, when I was a kid, for example, one of the voices came from my great aunt Winifred, who was a schoolmistress. And once she said, she used to say, can't you spell said I can't even spell it now because I'm dyslexic. S-A-I-D. Can't you spell? Of course you can spell. Do you not recognize that word? And one time she looked down at the, we went for dinner there in Norfolk, and she looked down at me at the dinner table. I was about 6 or 7 years old. And she looked down at me, she went, look at those thick arms.
Oh my God!
So it's like
I didn't know your aunt was. I didn't know your aunt was Edith Evans. Who knew that?
No, but I'm just giving you one example.
No, how horrible!
Yeah,
What
but
a
that she
horrible
didn't
woman.
realize. She didn't think at the time that is going to traumatize this poor person for the rest of their
Vile
life.
thing to do.
No, I know, but that's what we all have, these voices. And when I work in organizations with very, very accomplished data analysts and lawyers and bankers and those sorts of people, officey people or people in publishing or in the creative industry, do you know what? Quite often there are certain cultures where people have been told by their parents, for example, there are certain cultures, you might recognize some of these cultures. For example, one of my clients the other day said his father said to him, be careful about speaking up in a meeting because you might show how stupid you are.
Oh,
the child is like, children should be seen and not heard. And that was I was kind of brought up, children should be seen and not heard. But not only that, I thought, because I didn't know what dyslexia was, I didn't know that I was a bit, I don't know, different. So I just thought, I must be stupid.
You must be thick as mince. You're thinking.
And I'm one of 6 children, but my brother above me, love him to pieces. Harry, he was a boffin. He was clever. He went to Oxford. He went to private school. He got scholarships. He was clever. So I thought, like Harry could play the piano, like Beethoven, Mozart.
Well, you can play the ukulele.
Yeah, like a, whatever. What I'm saying is, I never thought I was good enough or clever, because that was what clever was.
How did you begin to unpick this? Because I look at you now, and you look more than good enough, and you're clearly more than clever enough. And I would struggle, not that I'm even looking with a critical eye, but even if I were, I would struggle to find anything and go, oh, no, imposter, wrong. I would struggle to do that, and I'm not doing that. So how did you start to unpick that?
Yeah, so I think what happened was that
it really applies to all of us, I think.
It does. Well, you know what? I didn't even really know what an imposter was, what imposter syndrome was. I didn't know what personal development was. I didn't know any of that. I thought, as I was a producer and I used to interview celebrities, as you know, Russ, I've got stories from. I would interview people with the microphone going that way, to them, not with me. And I've gone out of focus. Hello, I've gone out of focus.
I thought it was my eyesight. Thank God it's you.
No, it was me going out of focus. That was like extreme beautification. Filters.
Have you got a filter? What is this? What have you
got?
No,
I haven't. No, I'm only
filter.
I haven't got a filter.
Take 20 years off me now. Boom, gone.
So I think what happened was I always wanted to work in the media and I always like the storytelling. I like creating the programs and I like creating the running orders and the ideas. But I was really not confident in front of the camera, or I was afraid. I was afraid of the criticism, I suppose. I think I just never saw myself as somebody that could do that kind of stuff. Right now we're talking media. I mean, and the book actually is about generally in everyday meetings and just generally getting yourself out there and sharing your stuff. But I absolutely know that, when I was a producer, I did think I'm really good at this, at my job. And the more I work and the harder I work, surely I will get promoted and I'll get recognized for how good I am at my job. And it doesn't really work like that. You see, if you work really hard, you've actually got to do more than just a good job in order to be visible and to be visibly brilliant. You do have to get into the routine of sharing your knowledge and letting people know, sharing your credibility, but without showing off. And there is an art to that. Now, I didn't know really I didn't ever think I could do any sort of public speaking, but I realized when I left the BBC to help leaders with their speeches and help people to be more confident, I realized that people started asking me, oh, can you speak at the event? Can you speak at the AGM, the annual general meeting? Can you speak at the conference? Can you speak to the team? I suddenly realized, shit, I'm going to have to do this. Excuse my French. I'm going to have to do this myself. So I had to learn to get in front of an audience, and I had to learn to get over my fear of vulnerability, exposure, all those things that you feel when you're in the spotlight. And I've done quite a lot of research on it. And you know this, both of you know this, you talk about it a lot, about the imposter, your amygdala gland that gives you that tells you fight, flight, freeze. What are you going to do? And just there's a physical reaction, isn't there, to being
it's essentially trying to keep you safe, but it's a bit unenlightened.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so, yeah. Well, the thing is, it's fair enough. So yeah, for me, I think it was this fear, and I still am scared
of what?
Of being judged. It's the criticism. I'm scared of criticism. I'm scared of being judged. I'm scared of messing up. I'm scared of saying something stupid. I'm scared.
I'm concerned about messing. I'm doing about 3 funerals. You know, I've become a professional celebrant as long as top of everything else. So
Yeah.
I thought if I had 1 gig a month, that would be fine. And I'm doing about 3 funerals a week at the moment. So I've never been busier in my entire life. And yes, I worry about messing up, but a lot of that, and you will know from conference work, Neil will know from all his work, especially from Neil's stand-up work.
Yes.
I would say there's good nerves and bad nerves. And good nerves is, I'm excited to do this and I've prepared. I know what I'm doing. But if you don't have any feeling in your stomach or any butterflies, check your pulse, you're probably dead. Bad nerves is, I haven't prepared for this. I haven't actually done any work for this. I think I'm going to wing it. It'll be fine. What could go wrong? Oh, the answer is absolutely everything could go wrong. Is that. So I still get very nervous, but I prepare like crazy. I mean, I really do.
Yeah, you know what? I work with a lot of different leaders. Some people are like politicians or from the world of sport, different sectors. And what I find is everyone is slightly different in their approach. And people like and I would say there are 2 types of presenter, and I know which type I lean towards. There's 2 types of presenter. There's like the planarina type, people that plan and they have to know everything and they have a script and they want to know the script. Or there's the wing it wonder type. More like play it by ear, read the room off the cuff type, right? That's you probably would prefer one or the other types. And I've studied this and done quite a lot of research, and I know that I'm probably on the sort of wing it wonder type because I'm not really a planarina. I don't really like using a script.
Planarina. My dad, God rest his soul, used to call me last minute .long.
Yeah.
Oh, that's genius.
I love that. Genius. Last minute .long. That's perfect. That's perfect for you, Neil.
But you know what, Esther, this comes down, I hate to use this word, and forgive me, but maybe it fits in with your book. It comes down to talent and confidence and ability. For example, on the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shows that Longy and I have done, right? I never say to him, this is what we're going to do. All right. We press go and off we go. And that's the way that I like to work. And if a guest says, send me the questions in advance, and I always go, no, absolutely not. No. But I get that quite a bit. What questions are you going to ask? And I'm like, well, if I met you in a bar and I'm sitting next to you, would you expect me to hand you a sheaf of paper with the question? I'd say, hello, what do you do? You'd talk to me quite naturally. We wouldn't have pre-planned questions. So, but that also goes on the fact that I know, and forgive me speaking like you're not in the room, Neil, but I know whatever happens, Neil's going to pick up the ball and run with it. I'm going to pick up the ball and run with it. That's how we operate. So we don't have anything pre-planned. Even with the podcast that we do, Walk the Talk, Hero's Journey, we don't pre-plan it. It's a conversation. But you've got to trust the people that you're working with to work along those lines.
I think it works both ways. Sorry, Esther. I think it works both ways. I mean, the kind of radio that we do here, I always say to people, just imagine you down the pub having a chat with your mates. It's very, very informal. We're not trying to catch anyone out. We're not trying to make people look stupid. We want to hear it. Like, you're here. We want to hear about you. We want to hear about what you're doing. And it's great. And it's a relaxed, easy conversation. But I'm completely comfortable having it. And hopefully you are too. You know. But to take that out there with shall we say, a less friendly audience, what tips would you have with that?
Yes, good question.
Yeah. Well, first of all, let me just commend you on your excellent attitude towards conversation rather than, built, forced conversation. You're absolutely right. There are certain circumstances where it's kind of fake to go, give me the questions. Can you give me the questions to our conversation before we have a conversation, please? It's kind of like weird. However, for me, coming from a background of sort of broadcasting, daily news, shows, entertainment, for me, I quite like having angles, and I've got angles and stories. I know I've got them up my sleeve. The thing is, you are well drilled in this. You're well drilled in radio, Neil. You're well drilled in material. If you're well drilled, It's a bit like jazz. You know, you wouldn't say, oh, how terrible, fancy improvising. They must be terrible because they didn't read the music. You don't say an improvisation. I used to play saxophone, you know, and I'm not that brilliant at improvising. I know how difficult it is. In fact, you've got to be a really brilliant, creative musician to improvise. You don't say, oh, you didn't practice it. You didn't get the piece of music and learn.
Oh, no, that's at the end of hours and hours of repeated practice. They can do that.
Yeah. So the thing is with you two, because you are well drilled, and now I know that I'm well drilled. Only now, after 14 years of trying to do scripts and learn and be good and get better and get over my nerves, after 14 years, only now I can confidently say my practice is by doing it. So doing 3 funerals a week, for example, that is practice. Whether you, even if you turned up and did no prep, funerals are different because you definitely need to know. Obviously, you need to know the names people.
I think you need to know your subject.
But you need to know the angle.
And do angles, and do prepare it. I saw one of the big public speakers once. He was giving advice on when to do a presentation on what to put in the background, like on the PowerPoint or something.
Yeah.
Like that. And people make these really busy PowerPoints.
Crazy, yes, awful.
You know, where flow charts, and it's a work of art. And they've probably been up all night on Canva designing it, but you just have one word.
Yeah,
one word.
Yeah,
and then embellish on that one word. So, for
I've
example,
actually got a really good answer to, should you have slides? How many bullet points? Should you have a photograph? I've got one really good tip for that, because this is exactly my sweet spot, because I work in businesses. That's my kind of like weekly, daily sort of job that I tend to work with a lot of businesses and leaders, and really the answer to how do you do it? Should you have a script? Should you have some audio? Should you have slides? Should you have 5 bullet points? Maybe 3.
Are all your clients Joe Pasquale?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Just checking.
But all I'm saying is that those are the frequently asked questions. And I have one really good answer to that. What does your audience need at that moment, at that time?
There you go.
That's it.
It's not.
What does your audience need?
The thing is, when you break it down, it's not difficult. It's so blindingly obvious. But don't forget, you wouldn't know, but I was in corporate communications for decades. I mean, that.
Oh, yeah, no, I did know that, actually.
That's what I did all the time.
We've got some mutual friends.
Yes, I'm sure.
That talk about us behind our back.
Well, another time. And, this thing about I want to show how clever I am. And they put up exactly as long as just said a slide. And I'm going, no one can read that. You can't. First of all, they can't see it because it's in like Times New Roman, like 8 point, and you're sitting.
It's in Wingdings or something.
Oh my God! Now we're talking fonts. We're literally.
Yes, I mean you can't see it. Number one, you can't see it. And number 2, it's too confusing. They're trying to copy on that, and then you're talking, but they're thinking about just talk to them, give them, and most people, and Esther. I don't know if you agree, but I was always taught, and this was my golden rule for all the people that I was both writing for and coaching, like you did, I don't do it anymore, is that if they walk away with 3 things they can remember, 3 out of your presentation, you've done brilliantly well. You've done great, because frankly, by the time they've got to the car park and into their car, they've forgotten most of it. It's gone straight out of their heads.
Funnily enough, my latest thing, particularly in this day and age, with all of the material you can get all of the time, all the platforms, all of the information that's coming towards you, I always aim for one thing. I said, look, forget the power of 3. I've actually got one of my tips is the power of 1. Just go for one message. If they walk away with 1, because as they walk to the car park, you're absolutely right. As they walk to the car park, they might say something like this. Oh yeah, that guy, that presenter, James, I remember, he ... They're not going to say 3 things. They're going to say 1 thing. So you're absolutely right. What's the one thing that you want them to walk away with, and make sure that everything is going in that direction?
What is the call? I used to call it, what is the call to action? What do you want this to
CTA.
achieve?
What's the CTA?
Once you start to actually tick those off and construct it that way, it makes sense. Otherwise, it makes no logical sense to communicate to your staff or your team or your prospective clients or whatever it might be. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, let me ask you a quick question.
Excuse me, Ian from Surbiton.
Yeah, Ian from Surbiton. Yeah. Come on, if you're hard enough. Right, Esther.
Yes.
The little. Neil and I've talked about this so much, and Neil has given me good advice, I have to say, which I won't bother to repeat. He knows about little voice, silly voice on the thumb and all that.
Well, I'll tell you that one if you like.
But when did you stop beating yourself up and say, you know what, I am good enough?
Okay, so Neil and Russ, I will ask you the same question after I answer it first. Do you want to know the real answer to that question?
Yeah.
Yes.
I still do it.
Of course you do.
I still beat myself. You idiot. Why did you do that? And I'm even more, hard on myself. I'm my own boss now, so I run my own business. Yeah. I am a bastard boss. I'm nasty. Yeah.
I'll show you a little trick to help with that.
Go on, Neil. Please do.
Right. So when you're doing that, you're banging yourself on the head. Who are you banging? Was it Cynical Cyril? Who was it?
Yes. Yeah. Was that Cynical? Who was hitting me? Was that Cyril hitting me, or was it me hitting Cyril?
You tell me.
No, gosh, I think I don't know, Neil.
Cyril,
I know you're good at this because I've been listening to all of your sort of therapy. You're big into sort of mental health and therapy. I know that, and you've got really good tips. I don't know, who is that? Is it me telling Cyril to shut up? It's probably me.
Give him a name. Or her a name.
What Cynical Cyril?
No, the person that's speaking in your head, the
person who's talking you down.
Yeah. Well, I suppose I've got.
You're started for 10, no conferring, and we're still going for that beautiful holiday in the Black Caribbean.
Bitter Betty.
Bitter Betty.
Okay, so hold your thumb out in front of you, like that. Hold your thumb right out. So it's in front of you, like that. Okay, yeah. Now take Bitter Betty out of your head, shrink her right down so she's big enough, keep your thumb out, to put her on top of your thumb at a distance. Right, there she is, and she's really, really small. And of course, she's small. Her voice is really, really squeaky as well. Now she's
Joe Pasquale.
Yeah, Joe Pasquale.
Now she's saying those nasty things. Does that have as much impact?
Yeah, well, no. I mean, that's a great that is a brilliant technique, isn't it? To make it.
Yes,
she's suddenly gone down to this little ant. She's a little tiny little ant. No, it doesn't have any impact at all because it's funny, because it becomes squidgy.
And that's the Neil Long method.
Ruthie will know exactly what I'm doing there. If she's Ruthie's commenting.
Tell us.
Ruth's watching in.
Well, it's NLP. Ruthie's talking auditory and visual, and that's an NLP teaching. So Ruthie will going. Ruthie will be saying, he's changing submodalities, which I am. But that's sort of NLP speak. But it's just the images and pictures that we make in our minds and how we feel.
Merci beaucoup, Ruthie.
Thank you, Ruthie. I love that. Like Ruthie Henschel. Is that Ruthie Henschel in secret?
No, it's Ruthie.
But I love that, Ruthie. I do like being able to do visual images. Actually, one of my clients, very senior, she used to really suffer from imposter syndrome. And people go, stop talking about imposter syndrome. Stop talking about it. But then I say, well, thing about imposter syndrome, the syndrome where you almost feel like somebody's about to tap you on the shoulder and say, you're not good enough. Why are you here? You're not really interesting. You're not really good enough. Rubbish. You're winging it. You're a fraud. You shouldn't be here. So when she's really senior and she leads a team of, hundreds, she went to a coach, and the coach, I haven't actually got the ball on my desk anymore, but the coach gave her a little ball, and she managed to get her imposter syndrome and make it into a little ball that big, right? And she carries it around. It's a squidgy little ball. So I got an orange ping pong ball. Can't find it because I'm too messy. I got an orange ping pong ball so I could do the same and just have this little ping pong ball to go, because she used to carry it. She carries it around in her bag. And I thought that was a similar kind of thing.
Why does she do that though? Explain why.
Well, I think the imposter was so big. It was like this big beach ball or one of those enormous medicine ball that you sit on, and but the big ones,
space hopper.
Yeah, or even bigger, big ball. But it was so big, it was like crushing her like a boulder. And she got into the habit of shrinking the ball, and so she could carry it around with her, so she could say, "Look, it's never really going to go away. The imposter syndrome, or that inner feeling of the self-doubt, the voice of doubt, the worry, the fear,
not good enough
fear." And so she'd carry it around in a ball and say, "Look, I have got it, but it's small. It's my little, it's almost like a little pet." I thought that was quite interesting. And she literally pulled out her handbag and showed me.
It's a manifestation of something. It's interesting because it's a sort of existential threat. And yet, if you can make it into a physicality, and then it's a manifestation of, you think, shut up. And you've got it in your hand. You've got it under control. I've said this many times, Esther, and Neil knows this. If I'm going to do a stand-up, which I do rarely, but when I do, it's an hour and a half show, right?
That's
so it's
long.
a big deal. It's a different type of show to Neil's, and different type of humor. But it's an hour and a half, so 2 45-minute halves. And as I'm standing in the wings and the music's playing and the place is back, I get my father in my ear. My father turns up.
What does he say?
What the hell do you think you're doing? What the hell do you think you're doing?
Oh God, I can.
And I have to go piss off. I do. I actually say. People probably think I've gone mad, but I actually have to say. I say it a little bit stronger actually, but the last word is off, and because you have to do it.
Can you use the F word?
Sure, of course I do. All the time.
That's heavy stuff now.
But it is, because look, there's no one else.
It's
when
the
you're standing on the stage, you know when you're standing on the stage, Esther. Longy knows when he's standing on the mic at a comedy night or whatever, if he's headlining. I know in the work that I do, you can't blame anybody else. That's it. The buck stops with you. So you can't have any distraction. You can't. You have to be 100%
my question to both
focused.
of you then. I've got a question to you because you asked me and I said you're going to answer after me.
Yeah.
When did you stop beating yourself up?
Never. Never ever.
Neil,
I whip myself every single day. If I'm not working, I feel guilty.
You idiot!
I
terrible idiot.
try and keep it under control, but if I have a low day, suddenly all the negative thoughts are flying about things past it. You know what I mean? And then mind to say, have some more thoughts like it. There we go. At that point, I just want to curl up and I'm like, no. Or I'll call someone that I trust and talk it through with them, and they sort of remind me that I'm, not the awful person that I thought I was.
That's why he doesn't phone me.
So, what's that? He rings you, I mean, I definitely found out very late on in life that I'm a little bit, let's call it neurosparky. I found, I've been investigating that because I kind of spent a lot of my life thinking, what is wrong with me? Why am I a bit whatever? Just, not quite, I don't quite get it. Or I'm really creative, sometimes really brilliant, and then sometimes just really terrible, really late, like lastminute.long. Love that.
Lastminute.long.
Maybe you're just human and that's okay.
Yeah, well, then you start. I'm normal. What is normal anyway? There's no such thing as normal. However, I've got another little trick that I play. I've got a little trick that lets me off the hook now. It's a really good trick. I just call it my slippage insurance, and I haven't written about this yet. I'm going to start writing more about this, in future. So my slippage. So basically, for me now, I allow myself 2 slippages a day. Right. So a slippage could be something like, I forgot to tune into the Zoom, or my parking ticket. I just forgot to pick the car up. I forgot to do something, or I'm late or something. But I think, I've got too much going on in my brain. Okay, well, that's slippage. I allow myself 2 slippages a day. Because we are human and we all have a bit of slippage, right? If you don't mind me saying.
No, you're right.
Yeah, do you think that's is that a good little rule? Do you think?
It's a bloody marvelous thing.
I think what we're talking about here, the overarching thing, is perfectionism.
Yes, that's absolutely right. Yes.
See, this is what I have.
And it's progress, not perfection. And what I sometimes say to people, if I'm in coaching mode, which happens occasionally, I say, don't let perfect be the enemy of very good.
Yes.
Cool. Yes. You're like Obi-Wan Kenobi today. You're unbelievable.
I thought you were going to say like Oprah.
Oh no, I can't stand Oprah. I think she's garbage.
Don't say that.
I think she's a huge. I think she's a huge fraud.
But I also love Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Enormous fraud. I've always thought she was a fraud, and I will never, ever forgive her for facilitating that traitorous twerp, Harry, and his ghastly wife. I will never forgive her for allowing all of those lies to go out and convince people. Anyway,
and now tell us how you really feel.
That is how I feel. Wait, hey, at my age, I don't give a shit. Why should I be polite to her?
We're going to have to.
I don't agree with her. I think she's a fraud. I've always thought that, and I can't forgive her for the Harry and Meghan interview, which was a disgrace.
She speaks highly of you, Russ, as well.
I don't care.
You know what?
I don't care. I can't wait till it's just Harry wins a Mountbatten. That's what's going to happen.
Do you know what my favourite bit of that interview was? The Oprah Winfrey interview with Harry and Meghan. Do you know what my favourite bit of the interview was?
Yeah. What?
Her pink microphone that matched her jumper.
Oh, did it? Of course it did. She didn't become a billionaire she didn't become a billionaire by accident, did she? Didn't become a billionaire by accident. The way that
I got a question for you.
No, I'm just going to explain something to you because I like your slippage thing. I like that.
Oh, you like the slippage? Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
I do. But the way that I do it is I have here, I don't know, Julia. Why don't you get your clients and maybe they could come on? I get Julia saying, when's Dan coming? Well, Dan's not here. So, invisible man, am I? And I'm loving having you as our guest, but the other guest hasn't shown. So not our problem. So
yes. What is that? Is that
I have a little mini whiteboard.
Oh, I like it.
Just to my left of my desk, always. And I write it down. And if I don't write something down, I will totally forget. My head is like soup. It'll go. It's like a pizza. It's too, So
pizza.
I write it down.
Too many images. Soup, pizza. I really feel like eating both right now. Thank you for that.
I think you should.
Soup, pizza. Do you know what I do? I put alarms on my phone. This is my phone.
Oh wow, that's great.
Loads of alarms. You do that. So Neil, do you do that? Loads of alarms.
Sometimes, yeah.
And you can say, "Hey Siri, set alarm pills 9 o'clock." Hey Siri, set alarm 9:15. I call it glow up. Get your makeup on. Hey Siri, send book to Natalie. I could set my alarms. If I don't set an alarm or put it in my diary, it doesn't happen. So that's what I do.
Wow.
Get over my my either soup or pizza or sieve brain.
I sometimes set 3 alarms in the morning. It's like wakey, wakey, rise and shine label. Neil, get up. Neil, seriously, get up. You're going to be late. So I do that sometimes.
Is that what you do?
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Esther,
yes,
give us a synopsis of your book. If you were talking us through it, the whole process. Give us a sort of a process through it.
Sorry, you mean Visibly Brilliant?
Yes, that new book that you're here to talk about. That new one. That new fabulous book.
The process of how to be visible. Yeah, this is the process. Okay, first of all, just say it's in 4 parts. The book. The first part is why have you got the book? What is going on in your life where you're not visible enough? Where are you? What's going on? Why aren't you visible? Are you scolding yourself for not putting yourself out there? Are you telling yourself off for not writing blogs and putting that stuff on social media? And you think, oh, I feel really uncomfortable. Are you scolding yourself because you work really hard, but other people are getting promoted and they're getting praised and you're not getting the credit for all of your ideas? You're going into meetings, you're not speaking up, but you're telling somebody before the meeting what your idea is, and then they take your idea.
Oh,
Anyway, so the first process is, do you need to be more visible, and why aren't you more visible? And I actually have a Visibly Brilliant quiz, and you can answer the questions. How visibly brilliant are you? But the main thing, the half the book is actually about mindset, because a lot of people can justify why they don't want to be a big mouth or a show off. They can justify it. So lots of reasons, I don't want to be like them. I'm not really a big mouth. I'm not really a show off. I'm not really a narcissist. I'm not really a big, I'm not a blagger. I'm not a bullshitter. And so a lot of the book is about, okay, I get it. You're too busy. Your work speaks for itself. You're not a blagger. You're not one of those people, and you want to have good quality work, and you want people to see that you're credible. So half the book is really, I get it. I understand why you don't want to show off or toot your own horn and you're very humble. You're British, However, it's not about showing off. It's about sharing your expertise.
Can I say you?
What happened to Neil?
You were. I fired him. He was no good. I've never liked him.
It wasn't that boring, was it, Neil? You still worried about
I haven't liked him for 35 years, and he just annoyed me, and I've got rid of him. I've rehired.
Neil, I thought you were rejecting me. I was.
No, isn't that interesting? No,
Go on, Russ. Go on.
Can I tell you something? You have hit the nail so squarely on the head, Esther.
I've hit the nail. If I hit the round nail with the square head. Anyway, go on.
Just one thought, Esther. Just one thought at a time. No, you haven't. What I'm saying to you is that you've used the word showing off. And it's such a British thing that you think, if I'm doing this, I'm showing off. And we shouldn't be doing that. And there's a world of difference between showing off, which is obnoxious, and being there and knowing your worth. They're entirely different things, but they get conflated.
And you could argue that people that show off an awful lot don't know their worth, and they're trying to compensate for something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the book is actually all about going from worrying about showing off or worrying about the criticism, or you don't want to be like them, or you're just too busy and you're just uncomfortable in that environment of.
What do you mean by the too busy? I don't.
People get, I'm so busy doing my job. I'm just busy. I haven't got time. People think they haven't got time to put themselves out there to post or to write an article or to be on a panel.
It's part of your job, though.
Yeah. I was going to just say the point. Go on.
Just echoes so much what you're saying. I watched last night by pure chance. There was an old documentary about Billy Connolly, arguably one of the most brilliant comedians this country has ever produced, ever. And there's a scene of him backstage before he's going to go on, and he's an absolute nervous wreck. And if you think that anybody would be less nervous than Billy Connolly, a man who exudes confidence, who exudes I don't give a damn, here I am, look at me, I'm fantastically hilarious. And he's in his dressing room and he's rubbing his hands with a towel because they're sweaty. He goes, I'm not feeling it. And then he says, it's at this moment when I think, what am I doing here? What on earth am I doing here?
I do that.
And Neil goes, I can't speak for Neil because that's just rude. I go through that. What the hell am I?
I do that.
It's self-doubt. But it was Billy Connolly.
Yeah, but that doesn't surprise me at all.
It made me feel a lot better.
It doesn't surprise me at all, because sometimes the bigger the personality, or the bigger the confidence, or the person, the bigger the inner demons, and the bigger the risk of failure almost. I was just going to say about the showing off thing in the book. The big turning point of the book, and what the book is persuading you to do, is to think about not showing off, but simply sharing yourself, sharing your work, sharing your ideas, sharing your insights, sharing your stories, sharing your experiences. Because when you're sharing, you're not showing off. You're being quite useful, and it's about sharing useful stuff.
But if you're really beating yourself up, a subject I have a PhD in, by the way, is this: you'll say, I'd like to share that experience, but then the little voice says, no, you're just trying to bring the whole conversation back to you. Well, actually, what you're trying to do is be helpful by giving an anecdotal example of, well, this happens to me, and I dealt with it like that. The same way that, like, Neil takes the most complicated of mental health issues, or the most complicated of NLP things, of which I know sod all, and he explains it in a way you say, oh, I get that. Like, that's not showing off. That's communicating.
No,
it's great. Helpful. And the more that you share, and if you've got stories and real life stories, the more that you're helping people. And the other point in the book is actually a lot of people that don't normally get their voice heard. So people in the minority, people that feel that they don't quite fit in, they're a little bit scared. A lot of people are not sharing, so we tend to get voices. We tend to hear same old, like, "Oh, I'm so humbled by my awards," big mouths.
Oh,
and actually, why should
I don't really deserve to be here? You'd walk over broken glass, you liar, to be there. You know you would. It's just
anyway,
those award shows.
anyway, yeah. So the point is it's about, from the book is really about saying to the invisibles, these hidden superheroes, I call them. The book is really an appeal saying, come on. You're talented. You've got a lot to say. And even if you're not experienced, but you're a fresh pair of eyes and you're a digital native, even if you're a digital native and you go on your phone all the time, right? But you've still got a fresh pair of eyes. You've still got a really interesting lens on the world, and you've got ideas, you've got opinions. So the book is really saying, come on, come out of the shadows, stop hiding in the dark shadows and stop wearing black and dark clothes. There's nothing wrong with wearing black, by the way, gentlemen.
Thank you.
But I'm just saying,
thank you.
People sometimes people
Thanks
just
a lot.
wear black to kind of hide themselves from, don't look at me. And I'm saying, come on, get out there with a splash of color, and you've got something to say. Start saying it. But it's not really a quick fix. Like, there's not really like this is the process and now you can be visible. What the book is saying is just do something tiny every day. So one thing a day, one tiny little thing. So it could be a post, or like and share somebody else's post, or think about, where could I do a little mini breakfast networking event, or could I speak on a panel?
What's wrong with being fabulous? Without sounding like Joanna Lumley, why is it arrogant to say, yeah, I think I'm fabulous, and so are you? And
well,
we can
the
share.
thing is,
Isn't there enough fabulous for everyone, darling?
Yes, but I think the thing is it's about, for me, again, it goes back to the question that what we talked about in the beginning. We've gone full circle in our conversation. It's about, what does that audience need at that moment, at that time? If the audience needs a fabulous host or compere, and you walk out in your sparkling Shirley Bassey, as you do, Russ, you walk out in your Shirley Bassey dress and you go, darling, fabulous, oh, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or whatever. If you need somebody to say, I'm fabulous and I'm loving this tonight, that's at that moment, at that time, that's fine. However, sometimes the audience doesn't really want somebody to walk out in the front of the room and say, well, I love myself, I'm fabulous, what's wrong? It kind of feels like not relatable. And so I think really it's about being relatable, because this isn't really as simple as just saying, oh, look at me, because what's in it for the audience? Not much. What's in it for the audience is, hey, look, I really struggle. So from my point of view, for example, look, I really struggled with public speaking. I really was sick. I couldn't do it. My main problem was that my mind would go blank and I'd just forget everything and I'd get stage fright. And I really, really struggled with it. And I still can't really read words in public because I just can't read aloud. I'm terrible.
Esther, are you heavily dyslexic?
Sorry?
Are you heavily dyslexic?
No, not really. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm a bit. It wasn't invented when I was at school, so I don't really know how. I mean, my daughter has been diagnosed.
Invented. Peanut allergies.
I haven't actually been diagnosed, but my daughter has, and I'm sure I'm worse. I'm sure I'm worse than her. But I know I've got all the traits, but I have been diagnosed in other things. But the thing is, if I can say, look, I struggled with this. I struggled, but I've got over it. But what I also do in the book is also offer inspiration, darling. Inspiration, like, what do I share?
No, hang on. I'm gonna hold you up there.
Go on, hold me up. You're holding me up.
No, Esther, listen. This is really interesting because it goes really to the core of all of this. You were embarrassed to say, I offer inspiration. The fact of the matter is, you've gone to the time and trouble and creativity. And if you've never written a book, you have no idea how hard it is to write, produce, and get a book out there. And you have every right to say, I offer inspiration. But still, the little Esther Stanhope, a demon, made you say it in a silly voice because you actually even now couldn't say, I offer inspiration.
Yeah, I know, because I'm British and I've got that British. We are humble and we don't want to toot our own horn. The Americans do find it a lot easier to say, well, it's awesome. My book is so awesome. It is actually. It is awesome.
Tony Robbins. Look at Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins.
Yeah, but he's not showing off exactly. Tony Robbins says, I'm
Tony
fabulous.
Robbins. You're exhausted.
No, Tony Robbins. No, let's not look at Tony Robbins. Please. That's too much. It's too far away, isn't it? It's too unrelatable, and it's not. I don't find that very helpful if somebody's
you
too
like Tony
much-
Robbins, Neil, because he turns me right off. He's so in your face. It's like frightening.
I mean, I
Very good at what he
admire him.
does.
I totally admire anyone who gets up there and does their thing. I admire
It's
anyone who
amazing.
can get
It's
on a
amazing.
stage actually and speak and be confident. But here's the thing. The inspiration, I do offer inspiration of what to share, how to share, because a lot of people don't know, how do I get myself out there? What do I have to do? And again, it's just, okay, so I've got lots of ideas, inspiration, like what could you write about? For example, you could write about, there's so many triggers, like story triggers. You could tell a story. Stories are really much easier to listen to read. They're more fun. You could tell a story. For example, just take one little trigger. I've got story triggers. Like what could you talk about? What could you share? What could you tell a story about? For example, you could have I say firsts and worsts. For example, you could tell a story about the first time I ... So, for example, Russ, you could do the first time you had to speak in public, or Neil, the first time you lost your bottle, or something,
Yeah.
or the worst, or worse, like my worst on stage experience. I bet you'd have a really good story that you could make into a post. Go on. In fact, Neil and Russ,
I learned a huge lesson when I was at school.
Oh, go on.
Because I was always in the debating society and all of that sort of stuff. And we had the inter-house debating competition, which I was slated to win. And for the first and last time in my life, yes, thank you, Ian, that's hilarious. For the first and last time in my life.
Did he say something beginning with M?
No.
Oh.
First and last time in my life, I didn't prepare. I didn't prepare. I believed that I could just wing it, and I nosed up, and I deservedly lost. And I was a kid. But that lesson stayed with me for the rest of my life. I never, ever did that again. Ever.
That is so funny. Sorry, I've just got to... my alarm's going off. Stop it. That's one of my many alarms.
Does it say, go on to the midday show at noon?
Actually, it says call at 1. Is it nearly 1 o'clock already? No.
Yeah, I'm not.
It is. It's 5:02.
Really?
Well, I've got to tell you something, Esther Stanhope. You were supposed to be sharing this show with another of Julia Champion's clients who never showed up, despite having had 2 weeks' notice. So you have been fantastic.
So
we have loved. No, we have loved. Show us the book again, and so you can give and tell everybody where they can get it.
We've had a fantastic hour. It's gone so fast,
hasn't it?
I thought it was about 12:30. I didn't even look at the clock.
No, it is 3 minutes, under 3 minutes. It's nearly 2 minutes to 1. So it's been great. Esther, you are absolutely welcome. And I forgive me for speaking on Neil's behalf. Anytime you'd like to come back.
That's all right. I'll go with that.
Yeah, we love having you on the show. And there's a lot more to unpack.
We've got so many more conversations. We could do just a storytelling hour, and I could trigger the stories. And I know that Neil, you've got loads of stories, and Ross, you've got.
Well, Esther, how about this?
Go on.
At the moment, I don't have a guest for the midday show on Wednesday, so I think there's so much more to talk about here. Would you like to come back Wednesday and we go into your stuff?
You look at a diary.
You know what? I know I can't because I know I'm going to be in Bristol doing a leadership away day. I'm going to be with 12 leaders at an away day in Bristol on Wednesday. But
right.
I will definitely, but now I am showing off. I am seriously showing off now, darling. But I would absolutely love to come back if you'll have me. I would absolutely love to, and I'm sure Julia's got loads of great. Julia, hello, hi, Julia. It's like, hi, Mum. Hi, Julia. I'm sure
Julia will be spitting feathers at the moment. I know exactly how she's been feeling. I get 1 minute past 1. My phone will go. My phone will go, and your PR lady would be on the phone to me. I guarantee. What happened?
Oh, well, listen. Thank you.
Bless you. Have a great time.
Just great. We'll definitely do it again. I'd seriously though. I would definitely be up for it. And I love that we don't need a script, and I love not getting the questions first.
No. And you never will. Good luck with the book. You'll be back. Neil will grab you on a Wednesday, guaranteed. That was a bit like Top of the Pops from the 70s, you know, when the camera used to go in and out. Anyway, there we are. That's it, everybody. Bye-bye, Esther Stan. Hope you've been absolutely brilliant. Right, so I'm going to leave it little because I don't know how to do how else to do. Hang on a minute. Hang on, Longy. Getting there. Boom. There we go. So, Neil, did you enjoy that? I loved that. I thought she
very
was
much
fantastic.
so. She was great.
I met her before, but she's a live wire, isn't she? She's a live wire. She's
lovely.
Very nice. So I hope you get somebody. I might be able to find somebody. Daniel
Rolnick. Greetings.
Yeah, Daniel. Big fan of Daniel. Big fan of Daniel's. Neil, did you? I didn't even ask. Did you have a good weekend?
Yes, thanks.
Well, that was a cul-de-sac of a conversation. That's the most deadpan you've ever.
You crazy fool.
God. Oh, God. Christ, you make me laugh. Right, Neil Long will be back with his deadpan humour on Wednesday. And if I'm still around, I'll be back on Friday with, who will I be with? Hopefully Chantal Rickards and the lovely Phil Dave. Until then, thank you, Longy, as always.
You're welcome. Good afternoon.
What's that thing you say? Love your squid. What's that thing you always
Love
say?
you, hug you, squeeze you.
I'll go along with that. Bye, everybody. Take care.
Bye.